Cars are on the grid here at Spa in Belgium for the 7th round of the 1994 German Touring Car Cup. We're about to set off on a formation lap before a rolling start, and the reason for this I'll explain in a minute. But let's now go down to the grid and run through the starting order for this important round of the series. On pole position, Italian Roberto Ravaglia. It's his first appearance in this series this year, and he's been parachuted in to help the BMW cause, a bit like Joe Winkelhock earlier in the season. Multiple European Touring Car champion. He's won the World Championship. He's won in Italy. He has won the DTM in Germany before, and a great effort to, on his first run this year in this series, put the car on pole position. Bruno Eichmann from position 2. He's had some good results in recent events, and he's the first of the forwards looking for his first win of the year. Ivan Capelli in the Nissan, he's third, former Formula 1 driver. Marcus Osterreich from position number 4 in the Wolf Ford. His teammate Klaus Panches out of position number 5 in the second of the Wolf Fords. Johnny Cecotto from position 6, winner at the Osterreich Ring, equal second in the championship. From position number 7, Peter Cox, having his second outing of the season after a good run at the previous round before he clipped the turn 1 chicane. Position 8, Hans Stuck. He's got one hand on the title, 32 points clear in the championship over Cecotto and us, so he's just got to keep scoring points to wrap the title up in the Audi. Position 9, our round 1 winner, Ronaldo Capello. He's currently 4th in the championship. Position 10, Emanuele Pirro in another of the Audis. The Audis you'll see are running a new rear wing for this round, sort of bringing them into line with the sort of rear wings seen on a lot of the other cars this season. From 11, Alex Bergstaller, who finished second at the previous round behind us. 12, Alfred Hager in another of the BMWs. 13, Patrick Bernhard, factory Audi, and he's alongside Frank Bieler, who after a good start to the season hasn't scored since round 2, but he's still sitting in the top 10 in the championship. Thierry Boutsen from position number 15. 16, Michael Bartels in the second Nissan. He's a long way down the order compared to Ivan Capelli, and usually it's been Bartels who's been setting the pace for the Nissans this season. Yolanda Schurer from position 17. 18, returning to the series, Patrick Houseman in a BMW. 19, that's us, Russ Dugman. Struggled a bit for pace in qualifying. Hopefully we can move forward in the race, but Spa, for whatever reason, we haven't been able to get a lot of speed out of the car. Position 20, Marco Werner in the Astra, and from position number 21 in the BMW, Michael Hygert. Cars, as we can see, are making their way round Spa on the warm-up lap. So the reason we're having the rolling start is that for whatever reason, when I tried doing standing starts from the endurance grid on this track, there kept on being a bottleneck at Eau Rouge, which is turn 1 on this layout. And I thought I'd try a rolling start, and the rolling start seemed to flow a bit better. So that's what we'll go with. Not historically accurate for this round, as with all the other rounds this season, they had a standing start in real life. But in the interests of a good race, I thought we'll go with the rolling start just for this round. Heading up towards Blanchimont and the bus stop at the end of this warm-up lap. Rolling start, something different for this season, but hopefully we all get away to a clean start. It's very different, takes the sting out of the race start a little bit. Sort of you get the nerves out of the way and get to loosen up a little bit. Not as tense, but we'll see what happens. Up to the bus stop, very tight, especially in this 2x2 formation. We've got the two BMWs in front of us. We've got Marco Werner alongside us. Cars are starting to pick up a bit of pace as we come up to the F1 start line. We'll go round La Source and down to the traditional start line, the endurance start line, here at Spa. Very slow as we come to La Source. Yolanda Sura in front of us. Here we come. Green flag's out and away we go. Werner alongside us. We've lost a little bit of time, but at least everyone looks like they're away cleanly. Down to Eau Rouge. We'll go back a gear. Cold tyres. Bit skatey, but we're through the other side. We're okay. Everyone's away safely. The field's quite spread out. So we head down the Camel Straight towards Lake Hom for the first time. Cars, they're on the brakes quite early through Lake Hom. Down to Rivage. Brakes. So we can make a bit of time up on the first lap up on two wheels. Down to Pouin. Thought about it, but thought we better not. Back to third gear. Coming down to Stavelot now. And the long run up to Blanchimont. The bus stop at the end of the lap. Fifth gear. We'll pull sixth in a minute. In a second even. Blanchimont. A lot of tarmac to the right. We're using the 2003 version of Spa. So we come around, I'm right behind Sura. I'm going to have a go into La Source. To first gear. Patrick Houseman in front of us. Up across the line. So the end of lap 1 we've made a spot up to 18th. Into Eau Rouge, drop it back a gear. Houseman uses the tarmac on the inside. As I said, we've got Sura right up behind us. She's got a much better run through Eau Rouge. As I said, we're using the 2003 version of the track. There is a 97 version, but it's only got the F1 start line. Not the endurance start line, and the 97 version's got a lot less tarmac runoff. But the 03 version, other than the second part of the bus stop, is sort of the more accurate of the time, given it's got the endurance start line. To the left. Houseman in front of us, then I think it's Thierry Boutsen in our fellow Eggenberger teammate. You can really feel the sawtooth curving on this track, which is great. Up to fifth gear. 1994 Spa was still very much seen as very much a home of touring car racing, the Spa 24 Hour. Of course, in the 80s and even in the 90s, it was a touring car enduro. Bounced through this bus stop rather. Although there was a slight diversion in 93 where, of course, the Porsches came out on top, but it was a touring car enduro through until 2001 really, and we've got a Nissan in the wall there it looked like. We'll make a spot on Patrick Houseman because we were past the incident. And we might make a spot on Boots in here too actually. Everyone's slow, we're going to get a couple of them. They've all been held up by the action at La Source. I think it was Capello in the Audi will give him a bit of room, but we're still ahead down the Camel Straight. Come across, we'll cover our line, and we'll definitely not cover our line because we're off. Whoa, how did we save that and not hit anyone? But it's cost us an absolute ton of time. All that hard work to do again. Back behind Werner, Sura, Patrick Houseman, anything we gained after the Nissan crash. So, just going to try and settle down a bit. It's got on the brakes a little bit too late for Lacombe, and that has really hurt us. As I was saying, Spa has been a GT race, the Spa 24 Hours, since 2001, so nowadays it's sort of seen as the jewel in the crown of GT racing. We're out wide there, but until then, Spa 24 Hours was the jewel in the crown of touring car racing, along with the Bathurst 1000. Of course, in years after this, Super Touring was a class in the Spa 24 Hour. Right behind Werner in the Astra. Got a much better run out of La Source. We'll accelerate past the little Opel. Cross the line. Very annoyed by the mistake down here last lap, so we're going to have to work pretty hard to make the time back. There's a yellow flag out ahead. There's a BMW off there. Which one was it? My problem last lap was I was looking in Ronaldo Capello in the mirror a bit too much. And there's an Audi going a bit slow perhaps that we're coming up to. Audi's of course got their new rear wings. Here today it's going very slow. It was Capello who we're into again. There's a Ford off as well. That Audi's going quite slow. We'll nip up the inside into Stavelot. We've got Werner behind us, he's giving us a nudge. It's all happening this lap. Into 15th, so one of the Fords has gone off. I'm not sure which one it was. Bounce over the curb at Blanchimont. Down now to through the bus stop. Round past the F1 pits. 5th gear, and then you just jump on the brakes and bash down the gears for the source. We're going to start lap 5, so we're already a third of the way through this event. The laps will go quick, it's a fast circuit, only 12 laps. Bounce over the inside of the curb. So I'd be interested to see what BMW that was parked off the track up here. Over the curb. Can't tell, but it's definitely one of the works cars with their checkered flag colour schemes. Which means it's either Chicago, Bergstaller, or Revalia for this round. And if it's Chicago, I mean his championship chances were already quite slim, but that'll pretty much hand it to Stuck, who can wrap the championship up this round. Back to 3rd gear. We've got a lot of work to do to get into the points. Our fast part is the last part of the lap. Through the bus stop and then through La Source. Not a bad run through there. Over the curb, through the opened up exit of the bus stop, which came in for 2002, but it's the best version we've got on GTR2 to replicate 1994. Coming through, start lap 6. Found dropping it into 5th, just at the bottom of Eau Rouge, seems to be the best way to get through, keep the revs up. If you go through there and you leave it in 6th, I find we struggle for a bit of puff on the way out through Radillon. Bit rough and ready through there, but through Rivage. Shearer. Houseman's the next one ahead, then I think Bootson. You see, Formula 1 cars pound so fast around some of these corners that you've got to rethink it in your head a little bit that you're in a touring car. Even though these touring cars are lighter touring cars compared to the big engined V8 touring cars in Australia, and even if you go back to the later Group A cars, like the Commodore's obviously from Group A, but even a Sierra, or earlier than that, a big 635 BMW or something, they weren't as light as these front wheel drive Super Tourers. Throw it across the curbs, that's our best place to attack. Across the F1 finish line. Now to cross the line, and we are at the halfway mark. A little bit crossed up, and we're in the grass down the Camel Straight. That's wiped off a bit of momentum we had. We chase your Landashura. This track requires a lot of concentration because it's so fast and so flowing that in many cases if you get something a little bit wrong, you're going to be in the fence. Down the hill to the double left at Coulomb. Bit of a lineup of cars up ahead. If we keep this pace up, maybe we can get somewhere towards them as the laps wind down. Up to 5th gear as we make the run up towards Blanchimont. Wonderful section of the track. And around now to the bus stop. Don't want to take too much curb through the bus stop. Really, there's a few cars up ahead. Try 1st gear, but I don't think there's much gain out of 1st gear unless you've dived up the inside of someone. Into lap 8. Sixth gear. And we're on the back of a train by the looks of things. Obviously a car struggling somewhere because it's walked the whole field up. Must be a line of 6 or 7 cars that we're now on the tail of, so we can see points. Back to 3rd gear, go right, feeds into this long left. Well, that was not good. Kept it off the wall and didn't lose too much time. It's undone a little bit of work though. Still see all these cars up ahead though. We're around to end lap 8, so 2/3 distance. 8 down, 4 to go. Looks like there's an Audi now ahead of this BMW, so perhaps a problem for one of the Audis. Can't imagine it'd be tyres because they're the best cars on tyres in the series, followed by the BMW, and it's the front wheel drive cars that have eaten their tyres at a lot of rounds. Down to Rivage. Double left. And there's a car off, which is an Audi in the fence. That looked like quite a crash. Try and avoid doing what we did last lap. So we're out in 14th, can see 11th place. But we're running out of time, coming around with 3 laps to go. A bit of grass as we came out of the bus stop. Yellow flags are out. Something's happened. Car's very slow. Make a run at Shearer down the hill into turn 1. Whoa! Shearer's hit us. That wasn't good. We've bounced off the wall. I didn't want to just blast past all the cars. Maybe I should have. Because we've lost a mountain of time now, and I would say any chance of points. Down the hill now. It's taken the air out of it all a little bit, hasn't it? Past the stricken Audi. Still a bit of time we can make up. Come around now, there'll be 2 laps to go. Use the curbs. So there's still 2 laps to go, so we're sort of back where we were. But it's going to be a lot of hard work to get up to them. We're almost there, but we're just not quite there. Down to 3rd gear, into Lacon. Fourth gear. Flow the car through these corners as much as I can. This right left, very important. Particularly as we saw earlier in the race. So the AI is very, very good sort of in that back section of the track. And they seem to be able to carry a bit more speed up through here, but we make up the ground through this part. Over the curb. Everyone's slowed down. There's Bruno Eichmann's out. Our teammate. So here we go. We go at 0 down into La Source. Bootson in front of us and an Audi. Audi going slow, will slot in behind our teammate Bootson, who's going to have a go at goes wide, can have a chance on the straight, get in the slipstream. Oh, I don't know. Weren't quite close enough. Oh, sorry Thierry. Have to do it if we want to get into the points. We're going to have to I'm trying very hard. I don't know if we're going to be close enough. I thought of the amount of time we can usually make up in the bus stop in La Source, maybe we'd be close enough, but I don't think we're going to be. In some ways, not that we deserve to be. Given it hasn't really gone to plan this race, although these Audis are potentially slowing themselves up. Can we get a better run out of La Source if we can get close enough? Up to La Source. Checkered flags out. Up behind Frank Bieler. And he's slow out of the corner. We're ahead. Come to the finish line. Alfred Hager's alongside us. And we finish in 10th place. Way too much luck involved, but we didn't necessarily deserve it. But, well, quite an entertaining race. Few mistakes, but quite exciting. So let's go check out the results of round 7 of the German Touring Car Cup from Spa. So quite an exciting race, and as we can see, after 12 laps, Johnny Cecotto has taken his second win of the year, 2.6 seconds clear of Ivan Capelli. Great job from Johnny Cecotto, given he started out at position number 6. Roberto Ravaglia was third, 12 seconds off the lead. Peter Cox fourth in another BMW, so two of the ring-in BMWs, Ravaglia and Cox, in the top 4. And Hans Stuck fights his way through to 5th and continuing his stranglehold on the championship. He hasn't quite wrapped it up yet, but we'll come to the points in a second. Marcus Osterreich finished 6th in the Ford, 7th was Patrick Houseman, 8th Emanuele Pirro in the Audi, Alfred Hager was 9th, and of course we finished 10th in our Eggenberger Ford. 11th was Frank Bieler, obviously, who we just managed to get ahead at the finish. Yolanda Shearer finished 12th, Thierry Boutsen dropped back to 13th on the final lap. Marco Werner was the final finisher in his Opel in 14th place. Michael Heigert, Bruno Eichmann, Patrick Bernhard, Ronaldo Capello, Klaus Panches, Alexander Bergstaller and Michael Bartels were all retirements from this race. So this is how the top 10 in points look heading into the final round on the Nürburgring short circuit. Hans Stuck, 79 points, leads Johnny Cecotto on 59. So that's a 20-point lead. Obviously you get 20 points for the win, but should Johnny Cecotto win the final round, that would give him three wins for the year, and obviously Stuck's only won 2. And if Stuck failed to score, they'd end up equal on 79 points, and Cecotto would get the title on account back, given he's had 3 wins this year. So that's going to be a very interesting final round to see what happens, given the BMWs are now coming on strong and the Audis have started stumbling a little bit, although Stuck's still managing to rack up top 10 finishes. We sit 3rd on 40 points, Capello still 4th on 38, Bergstaller 5th, Ivan Capelli 6th, all 5 points now separating 3rd from 6th, so that's quite tight leading into the final round. Emanuele Pirro 7th, Bruno Eichmann and Frank Bieler equal 8th, and Patrick Bernhard sits in 10th on 23 points. So although the Audis have sort of fallen away in the second half of the season, there's still a few of them in the top 10. So 1 round to go on the Nürburgring short circuit. That's coming up very soon. It's going to be a real championship decider, and really looking forward to bringing it to you soon. Thanks for watching, and there'll be another video coming at you very soon.